Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about the country where I found it the most difficult to be vegan while traveling. So I'm pretty well traveled. I've been to Canada, I've been to New York, I've been all over Europe, I've been to Thailand, and yeah, the country that I found it the most difficult to be vegan in was Morocco. I went to Morocco last summer for 2 weeks. I was backpacking and it was actually like a pretty spontaneous decision because I was supposed to be going to Thailand for the festival last June, but I couldn't go in the end, and yeah, I just kind of put that money towards a trip to Morocco in August instead. So because it was a pretty spontaneous decision, I did travel solo, and I will make a video about, my travel tips for Morocco solo, because I think that's really useful because a lot of people ask about traveling solo in Morocco alone. But today I'm just going to talk about purely how I found being vegan in Morocco. When I was there, it was Ramadan, and that actually doesn't affect tourists at all really, because it's, there's still restaurants open during the day, and in the evening they're open for business as normal. It's just that the people living there, they don't actually eat during the day, or they don't drink water or anything until the evening. But yeah, that doesn't affect the eating habits of tourists. So first of all, Morocco is full of melon. There are stalls selling melon absolutely everywhere, especially watermelon. And I think that's because it's so hot there. I mean, it was 40 degrees when I was there. No, it was 47 degrees one day. So they do eat quite a lot of watermelons, the Moroccans do, because it's super refreshing, it's super light, and yeah, it's a good thing to eat when it's 50 degrees. So I saw watermelon pretty much everywhere. They also had they had loads of different types of melons. They had loads of fruit absolutely everywhere. I used to eat a lot of rock melon for breakfast. That's pretty much what I ate every day for breakfast. And you can get huge, massive rock melons for really cheap. I think it was €2 for an absolutely massive melon. I was staying in a hostel, and actually most of the hostels in Marrakesh anyway, and most places around Morocco, breakfast is actually included, and they're so cheap, it's really good value. And breakfast is kind of pancake bread and stuff, and jam, and I just don't really like to eat that sort of stuff in the morning, so I prefer to have fruit. And I don't think it was vegan anyway, the pancake. And yeah, so I would go out in the morning, I'd buy my big watermelon, and I would come back to the hostel and eat it. And let me just say, the staff did not like that at all. They never said anything, because I can take food to the hostel and eat there if I want. But they would kind of glare at me when I was eating it, and kind of I knew they weren't okay with it, and they were kind of why isn't she eating the stuff that we have here, I think that's the vibe I kind of got. But anyway, there was also a supermarket that we went to quite regularly, maybe once a day, and I was able to get really delicious nectarines and peaches there for lunch or whatever. And yeah, that was totally fine. I was with a group of people. I met loads of people when I was over there. I was never alone, but I didn't meet any vegans or vegetarians, so it was kind of I had to compromise on what where they wanted to go for food and stuff. So that brings me on to restaurants and eating out. And okay, here I'm so spoiled in Chiang Mai, where I'm obviously with vegans all the time, and we're going out to amazing vegan restaurants, and there's vegan restaurants absolutely everywhere. In Morocco, it's just not like that at all. And I just had bad experiences in the restaurants overall with the staff. They just really didn't understand, and they didn't really care either. Every time we go to a restaurant, they obviously sell lamb tagines, they sell, vegetable tagines as well. But the vegetable tagines, they're you can never be sure whether they're cooked in the oil of the animal dishes, and also all the time the couscous was clearly cooked in I don't know, some sort of butter. It was definitely had butter melted into it. And so many times I would tell them that I had allergies and that I couldn't eat this stuff, and they would be yeah, okay, and they would just bring it out, and it would still be buttery couscous. And yeah, I trusted most of the tagines, but the vegetable tagines, but on so many occasions I just had to send my dish back several occasions, because they just didn't listen. They just don't care. It's a different, I I don't know, culture over there, and like it was all males working in the restaurants, and they just didn't understand. Like veganism was just not a thing over there at all. There was one nice cafe called the Henna Cafe in Marrakesh, and I'd recommend you going there if you are in Marrakesh in Morocco. It is not a vegan vegetarian cafe, but they do have some vegan and vegetarian options there. I didn't actually eat there, I just went to kind of check it out. But yeah, I just want to talk about one experience in particular. Myself and the group of travelers that I was traveling with, we took a tour out to the desert. I think it was a two-day tour or something, 2 or 3 days, and we were to spend the night in, you know, camping in the desert. That was kind of like part of the experience. And obviously what was included in the tour was dinner that evening at the campsite. And you know, I told them that I was vegetarian, and they were like, yeah, vegan, and they were like, yeah, you know, we will, you know, we'll have an option for you once you're there. So we got there, and we were like pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Like it was in the middle of the desert. We were like taken out there after like driving for hours through the mountains, and it was an incredible experience. But what happened to me that evening like pretty much ruined like the majority of like my trip there. It just like really hit me hard. So we were like all intense, and we were all like sitting around like at these really nice tables, and it was all very Moroccan and very authentic. And they brought out the lamb tagine for, no, it was a turkey tagine. They brought that out for everyone else. And I remember saying, please can I like just come and watch you guys cook, so like I know what you're putting in my one, because they were like, yeah, we'll do you a vegetarian one. And I was like, please can I just come and watch, like just so you know exactly what I can't have in it. And they were like, no, like they wouldn't let me come to the kitchen. So I was just like, okay. I like was eating like the bread there, and like just trying to fill up on the bread that they brought out. So in the end they did bring me out my own little kind of separate tagine bowl, and yeah, like it was totally different to what they'd made for the others. It looked like completely like freshly cooked, and like cooked like apart from the other ones. And when I came to the end of the tagine, I just noticed there was like this really strange kind of kind of yellowy grease, like poured over the bottom of the vegetables at the very bottom. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, and it smelled weird, and like I didn't want to taste it or anything just in case. And yeah, so I was like to them, what is this? Like what's that kind of like grease at the bottom of the dish? And they were like, oh, I don't know. And I started to feel really sick, and I was like, no, like seriously, you have to tell me. And then one of the guys, they like went off and asked the chef, and the chef came out, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot it was vegetarian, and I may have poured some turkey sauce over it towards the end. And I was like, what? I was absolutely devastated. If looks could kill, I would have killed them. And I was like, I know you're supposed to be like, you are supposed to be trying to be really respectful with, you know, people of other cultures you don't really understand. But I just felt so angry in that moment, because we had been there for, you know, 2 weeks or whatever, trying so hard to respect their Ramadan culture, and you know, then they come and like pour meat on a vegetarian dish and don't even care. And I got so angry with him. I was just like telling him that was not okay. Like he kind of maybe thought that I would take it as a joke, and I seriously told him that was as if he had eaten himself during the day, like during Ramadan, or that if he had eaten something that was against his religion. And I think I did make him understand towards the end like how bad it was, because he was quite apologetic and was like trying to be really nice to me for the rest of the evening. But yeah, I just felt so sick, and like psychologically as well, that's really hard to deal with when you know you haven't like had animal products like in your body for like 5 or 6 years or something, and then you like, some of the turkey sauce obviously had probably touched off some of the vegetables that I'd eaten. And like just, this is what was just going through my mind like at the time. It was just like a really hard thing to deal with. And you know, not that I advise this, like you to do this, but like I went outside and I made myself sick for like ages, and I just felt awful. You know, I just kind of had to like mentally pull myself together and kind of remind myself why I was vegan, and like I wasn't doing it for this like pure body or anything, like anything. So like, why would it bother me if I had some of that in my system or whatever? It's no big deal. just drank loads of water and tried to make the most of the rest of the evening, which was really beautiful. It did kind of ruin it a little bit for me at the time, but the important thing is now, like when I look back and remember like my time on the desert and remember my time in Morocco, that doesn't kind of ruin my memory of it, which is the important thing, I guess. I definitely wouldn't say like that should put you off going vegan or going vegetarian in Morocco, or if that should put you off traveling there, because it is an amazing country and I had one of the best travel experiences when I was there. But I'm just saying that has definitely been, out of all the places I've been, it's been like the most challenging, I guess, to be vegan. So yeah, that was just my personal experience. If you like are of a different opinion and if you had a different experience when you were in Morocco, leave that in the comments below and I would love to hear about it. I think I'd definitely go back to Morocco sometime in the future. Like I did travel around most of the country and you know, it was absolutely stunning. Like it was just a photographer's dream over there. Like I have heard that it is quite difficult to be vegan in Africa, and I'd really love to hear from anyone who has traveled around Africa for a long period of time as a vegan, because that's like a place that I'm really interested in going back to, especially East Africa and around like the South and Central Africa. But yeah, that is kind of like a worry of mine, that you know it would be a bit hard to eat vegan there. Obviously it would be possible, but maybe a bit more challenging. So yeah, if anyone has, you know, any experience with that, then let me know in the comments below. So thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!